Bible and grab your smokes. News and weather, music and jokes. See on the porch in my favorite house code, it's the Sarah Beth Terry Show. She's a feral Christian out in the wild, the cigarette mom with a queen bee style, talking or singing about somebody you know. It's the Sarah Beth Terry, the Sarah Beth Terry, it's the Sarah Beth Terry Show. I'm Sarah Beth Terry, and you're not.
Did you see the new shirts? Did you see the new shirts? They say, I'm Sarah Beth Terry, and you're not. Cigarette mom, Sarah Beth Terry, fair Christian. New shirts. Of course, I already cut the neck out of mine because I can't say nothing around my neck. I wear my own merch, but I don't like it around my neck. Don't. Hello. Welcome to the porch. It is 9:30 on a Wednesday night. I figured by now everybody be home from church. Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. Yes. Okay. In Hurricane area today, it was 87 degrees with thunderstorms. It was wonderful. Everything calmed back down. I would classify the humidity as soup. Yeah, soup. That's what it feels like, soup. So, but the porch sitting rating after 7 o'clock at night was a good 5 stars. I enjoyed it very much, but the mosquitoes are aggressive. Thank God for citronella plants. In breaking news, in case you missed it today, the Forever stamp price rises to 82 cents. Forever stamps are now 82 cents a piece. Mailing a birthday card or paying bills just got a little more expensive. The Postal Service's newest price increase officially takes effect this week, making Forever stamps 82 cents each. A student pilot safely lands a plane after an instructor exits the aircraft. An experienced flight instructor unexpectedly left a small training aircraft during a lesson. Yeah, he jumped out of the plane. Was like, I'm out. I just got to go. Real quick. That worries you just a little bit. A student pilot safely lands the airplane after the instructor literally was like, I'm going to kill myself, and just jumped out of the plane. Wouldn't that freak you out? I mean, things that you go, what? That's in the news. So, anyway, health officials are warning of a fungal illness linked to dust storms. Doctors are warning people in parts of the Southwest that blowing dust can carry fungal spores that cause valley fever, a respiratory illness that often starts with flu-like symptoms and is apparently very deadly. So, keep an eye out. Trump appeals the E. Jean Carroll verdict. Former President Donald Trump, it says former president. The President, Donald Trump, has filed an appeal of the $5.8 million judgment against him, sending the high-profile civil case to the next level of federal court this week. Extreme heat continues across much of America as large sections of the country remain under heat advisories as dangerous temperatures and humidity continue to push heat indexes well above 100 degrees. I'm telling you, always something. The World Cup quarterfinals are set. The tournament has entered its final stages after a dramatic round of elimination matches, and several traditional soccer powers still alive. The U.S. isn't one of them. Oil prices swing as the Middle East tensions continue. There were strikes in the Strait of Hormuz again today. So after we said, don't be doing that, they're doing it. And so now we're going to have to hit them back. That's the way we do it. Investors remain focused on developments in the Persian Gulf, where uncertainty continues to influence global energy markets. So that's what's going on today. Iran, speaking of, is holding national memorial events. Larger public gatherings continue across Iran following the death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Chameleon. While world leaders closely monitor what comes next, China continues military drills near Taiwan. Military exercises near Taiwan remain ongoing, drawing attention from neighboring countries, and international observers wondering, what are y'all doing over there? What are y'all doing? NATO leaders meet. Security, defense spending, and the Middle East dominate discussions as NATO leaders gather for their annual summit. If anybody's paying attention today, Donald Trump left an Air Force One, the old one, not the new one. I don't know what's going on. I don't care, but I just wanted you to know. Millions hit the road after the 4th of July. Airports and highways remain busy as families wrap up Independence Day vacations and start heading back this week. So keep an eye out for extra traffic on the road. Texas continues flood recovery in the news tonight. Cleanup crews continue working in communities damaged by severe flooding while residents begin rebuilding after the storms this past weekend. Homeowners feel the pinch of higher insurance as insurance premiums continue climbing in many parts of the country as companies adjust for increased weather-related losses. There you go. Selena, congratulations. Can't wait to see your basket arch. Grocery prices remain stubborn while inflation has slowed overall. Many families continue noticing higher prices on everyday grocery items. Probably will for a little bit. Summer travel stays strong. Despite the higher cost, Americans continue taking vacations in record numbers this year. So pretty excited about that. Politics. Congress returns to spending debates. Lawmakers face another round of negotiations over federal spending before the upcoming budget deadlines. We know how good they do with a deadline and a budget, so let's see how that works out. Border security remains front and center. Immigration policy continues to be one of the most debated issues in Washington right now. Good stuff to know. Apparently, we were talking about this just earlier today. Trump is going to ask for another revote for the birthright citizenship immediately after billboards went up all over the country advertising birthright tourism. Nope. That shouldn't be a draw to get you to move to our country. Guess what? Move here, have a baby, stay forever. No. Starting a new program called Anchors Away where they're like, you can't have that baby here. You got to go somewhere else. I get it, but I'm like, there's bound to be a better way. There's just, at this point, like, these are things that make you go, Okay. So, moving on. Let's see, that's boring as hell. We already talked about it. Midterm campaigns begin ramping up. Candidates around the country are increasing fundraising and campaign appearances ahead of the 2026 elections this year because, we know from the Supreme Court, there's no budgetary spending limits anymore. You can just spend as much as you want to. Whatever you feel like. That's what the new thing is. I don't understand. All right, defense spending dominates the NATO talks. Military readiness and international partnerships remain major priorities for the allied nations. Court battles continue to shape the political landscape as several high-profile legal cases continue influencing the national political conversation. In business, stamps aren't the only thing costing more. Shipping costs continue creeping upward, affecting business and online shoppers alike. So if you notice that shipping's a little higher, that's why. Gas prices remain unpredictable as drivers continue watching fuel prices fluctuate as the oil market reacts to overseas developments. We got it down to about $3.25 and then it bounced back up. So who knows? Trump's telling us that it'll be below $2 by the end of the summer, but it just depends on how Iran acts and whether or not we have to blow them out of the water. Summer shopping remains strong. Retailers report solid consumer spending despite concerns over inflation. Yeah, we still need tennis shoes and T-shirts and shorts, and we're going to have to pay for them. So, it's the way it happens. Americans continues tightening their budgets. Many households report cutting back on discretionary spending while prioritizing necessities. Otherwise, tightening the bootstraps. This is what we do when we run out of money. We're robbing Peter to pay Paul in this economy. Wall Street watches global events as markets continue reacting to international headlines and economic uncertainty. We're going into the earnings season, so everybody's a little trepidatious. In the weather watch, heat alerts continue across much of the country. Afternoon thunderstorms helped lower the temperature here in Appalachia all day. Farmers continue watching crops during the hot stretch as corn is about thigh high right now. Dust storms remain a concern in parts of the Southwest with this fungal outbreak, and cooler evenings provide welcome relief for those that are sitting on the porch. Welcome, Allison from New York. In Appalachia, black bears are on the move. The wildlife officials report increased bear sightings as young bears explore new territory. So try not to feed them, try not to pet them, unless you want to become part of their evening meal. They are not pets. They are wild animals. I know a lot of people in Gatlinburg want to give them an Old Smoky Candy Kitchen fudge apple, but don't do it. Don't do it. Just practice common sense. I know that that's very uncommon, but, whatever. Bluegrass Festival season is here. Communities across Appalachia continue celebrating mountain music and heritage with bluegrass festivals popping up all over the mountains. If you haven't been to one yet, then get your lawn chair and go. Hay fields are busy as farmers are taking advantage of dry weather to put up hay for the winter. You ever heard make hay while the sun still shines? This is what they're talking about. Campgrounds are packed. State national parks continue seeing heavy summer traffic as we are still out there having a big time despite the heat and the economy. Gardens are producing. Tomatoes, squash, beans, and sweet corn are beginning to fill roadside stands throughout the region. If you have any zucchini or squash that you want to get rid of, let me know, as the rabbits ate every bit of mine this morning. In West Virginia, farmers markets are at their best. Fresh peaches, tomatoes, sweet corn, and homemade baked goods are filling tables across the state at gas stations, farmers markets, and community centers. So make sure you get some while the getting's good. State parks report a busy summer as campgrounds remain near capacity as visitors enjoy hiking, fishing, camping, and whitewater rafting in the New River Gorge. Live music fills small towns as community concerts and festivals continue throughout the Mountain State. And heat remains a concern as emergency responders encourage everyone to stay hydrated and check on your elderly neighbors and have some shade ready, whether that be a parasol, an umbrella, or a hat. There you go. Expect afternoon pop-up storms this week. We're going to have a kind of a beachy week. You know, it's pretty in the morning and then rain in the afternoon. Typical July weather continues on. So, you know, take a raincoat or an umbrella if you're going to be out and about. In country music, summer festival season is packed, and national writers are already working towards fall releases, myself included. Independent artists continue growing online. We'll get to that in a little bit as you get to see what I'm doing in the studio for the next couple months. Touring season's in full swing, and Appalachian artists continue gaining national audiences because we are the only ones that are not singing about deer stands and trucks and beers. You would think, but we have better things to sing about. Emmy nominations are sparking conversation, and Justin Bieber joins the World Cup halftime lineup. Big Brother returns to television. Summer blockbusters continue drawing crowds to the theaters and to streaming platforms, and new streaming releases arrive this week, including the new episode of Castle Impossible, which I'm going to watch as soon as we get off here. I love them. I want to see what they're doing with that castle. They're so cute. And she's pregnant. I know. It's just, you got to watch it. It's Castle Impossible. In sports, USA is out of the World Cup. Wimbledon reaches its quarterfinals. MLB heads towards the All-Star break. The Tour de France continues, if you like the bikers. And NFL training camps are right around the corner, so get excited for some football coming up this fall. Around the internet, a Labrador in Oregon accidentally ordered dozens of cheeseburgers by stepping on his owner's phone. And yes, the family kept some of them. A grandmother's giant sunflower, now over 14 feet tall, is going viral after towering above her house and becoming a neighborhood attraction. She should charge admission. A video of a rooster interrupting a wedding ceremony has millions of views, proving once again that chickens refuse to respect formal occasions. So, just letting you know. Did you know that honey never spoils? Archaeologists have discovered pots of honey in ancient Egypt tombs that are still edible after thousands upon thousands of years, as honey does not spoil. If it crystallizes, put it in some hot water, it'll soften right back up. On this day in history, get real excited about it. They gave me yesterday's day in history. I looked these up on the internet, and it was like, that's July 7th. I'm like, that's not what's going on. Today is July the 8th. I don't know why it's giving me a day late and a dollar short today on Google, but now we know. On this day in history, in 1776, the Liberty Bell rings for independence. The Liberty Bell was rung in Philadelphia to summon citizens for one of the first public readings of the newly adopted Declaration of Independence, helping spread the news that American colonies had declared themselves free from Great Britain. That was on this day, 250 years ago, the Liberty Bell was rung. 1889, the Wall Street Journal publishes its first issue. The first edition of the Wall Street Journal hits newsstands July the 8th, 1889. What began as a 4-page financial pamphlet has grown into one of the most influential publications in the world. In 1947, the Roswell mystery captivates America. Just one day after reporting the recovery of a flying disc, the U.S. Army reversed course and said the object found near Roswell, New Mexico, was a weather balloon. The incident became the foundation of one of the biggest cover-ups in U.S. history. Y'all paying attention? In 1950, MacArthur takes command of UN forces during the Korean War. General Douglas MacArthur was officially named commander of the United Nations forces, leading the international military response against North Korea. That was in 1950. On July the 8th, 1969, the Beatles record Here Comes the Sun. Do-do-do-do. While Abbey Road sessions were underway, George Harrison recorded the iconic guitar track for the song that would become one of the most band's beloved classics. Very excited. In 1994, on this date, Kim Jong-il becomes North Korea's leader following the death of his father, Kim Il-sung Kim Jong-il. He assumed his leadership after his father, beginning a new era for the isolated nation that's still terrorizing people all over the world 30 years later. Okay, 2014, Germany stuns Brazil 7-1 in one of the greatest upsets in sports history. Germany national football team defeated Brazil's national football team 7-1 in the FIFA World Cup semifinals, shocking fans around the globe. That was back in 2014. Born on July 8th, Kevin Bacon in 1958, Beck in 1970, and Sophia Bush in 1982. The Liberty Bell called people together to hear the Declaration of Independence read aloud. Before newspapers, television, or social media, Americans gathered in town squares to hear the news. Wouldn't that be crazy if we still did that? Kind of fitting on the porch tonight, ain't it? Here we are almost, we are 2.5 centuries later, still gathering. Just instead on a front porch instead of a courthouse lawn. So, life's pretty interesting sometimes. In the chicken report, My girls don't care about the stamp prices, politics, or the stock market. They still expect breakfast before sunrise, clean water by lunch, and snacks before bed. Honestly, they might be on to something. The only people in my entire life that keep a schedule is my chickens. Front porch debate this evening, if you want to get involved and put your 2 cents in. If you can only have one forever, would you rather have unlimited bacon or unlimited coffee? You have to pick one and defend your position. Just asking. Your verse of the day comes from Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Can't talk today. It's been a big day. Just ripping and running and going and doing. Just so you know. So what's going on in your neck of the woods? Anything important that I need to know about and report to everybody else that's watching? Anything? Just wanting to know. I'm responding to my comments as we go. I've got 2 phones rolling. If you're keeping an eye on the moon this week, we are in the waning gibbous portion of the moon. The moon's about 45% illuminated tonight, rising late this evening. Traditionally, gardeners say this is a good time to cultivate soil, pull weeds, and prune unwanted growth. So, if you're keeping up with the almanac. In the garden corner, if you're keeping up with that news, tomatoes are entering their peak production. Pick them daily for the best flavor. Cucumbers grow quickly this time of year. Check vines every morning before they get oversized. You don't want none of that. Nothing's worse than a soggy cucumber. Corn should be watered deeply during tasseling for the best ears, just in case you didn't know. Deadhead spent flowers to keep annual blooms coming throughout the summer. And leave a shallow dish of water with a few rocks for bees and butterflies during this heat. You can make yourself a bee bath. Some Appalachian farm wisdom for you today. If the chickens dust bathe before noon, you can expect a really hot afternoon. They always know. Old-timers believe chickens instinctively prepared for the day's heat by cooling themselves in dry soil. If you don't have a dust bath for your chickens, then what do? If you are a fisherman and the fishing forecast, warm mornings and the hour before sunset remain the best times to catch bass and bluegill in most West Virginia ponds and lakes. So if you've got a worm on a line out there, that's the best time to be. In the Wildlife Watch, this is the time of year when young deer begin traveling more independently from their mothers, so drive carefully around dawn and dusk. Deer are especially active and will jump right out in front of you. What's blooming right now around you? Black-eyed Susans, purple cornflowers, and coneflowers. There's 2 different kinds, cornflowers and coneflowers. Bee balm, daylilies, Queen Anne's lace, and butterfly weed, one of my favorite things. If your butterfly bush is blooming, keep an eye out for monarchs and swallowtails. You'll see all kinds of butterflies on it. July is one of the quietest months for songbirds. Most have finished nesting, so the morning chorus isn't nearly as loud as it was this spring, but you will be able to hear a lot of tree frogs and cicadas this time of year. So the symphony is still going. We just have switch parts. The country saying this week that keeps coming to mind is knee-high by the 4th of July. Farmers have long used this phrase to judge a healthy corn crop by this time of year. Modern hybrids often grow much taller by Independence Day, but the saying has stuck around for generations. Trivia this evening. Pretty excited. A group of crows is called a murder, if you didn't know that. A group of owls is called a parliament, and a group of turkeys is called a rafter. Probably because that's where they climb up to and holler every morning. And a group of chickens is called a flock, unless they're mine, and then they're just called the girls at the chicken chapel. When the dew is on the grass, rain will never come to pass. When grass is dry at morning light, look for rain before that night. Little almanac wisdom for you. This old Appalachian saying is based on real meteorology. Heavy morning dew usually means clear overnight skies and stable weather, while little or no dew can signal increased humidity and approaching rain. Of course, always check your radar and your weather reports for more accurate depictions of what's coming down the woods. But that is something to keep in mind. It's very porch paper of us to have something to talk about that's almanac and farm related. And good evening. Next show on the books for me is next Friday, July the 17th at Emeray's in Herc in West Virginia. Your next hometown area show is just a little over a week away. Giving local fans another chance for the Sarah Beth Terry experience, with these shirts will be available. Look at there. I'm Sarah Beth Terry, and you're not. These are now available at shows, and Sean's got them on the website. So get excited, get you one. They're really comfortable. I cut the neck out of mine because I cut the neck out of everything. I just can't stand nothing around my neck. On July 25th, we'll be heading back to Campton, Kentucky for the 144.5 Roadhouse. We're real excited to go back to Wolfe County. We love it up there. We're also at Bobby G's in Huntington on July the 18th. So pretty exciting. August 1st is the Appalachian Artists Festival in Inez, Kentucky, one of the region's signature events. Is on my calendar this year. Super excited to put my music in front of an audience that already loves Appalachian storytelling and artists. I'm excited about it. Let me get there. Can't wait. August 1st. My latest Cigarette Mom podcast episodes continue rolling out with porch conversations about life, gardening, grief, humor, and whatever else blows through my screen door. That's also available on podcast, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you do stuff at. Just have to know. Just look around and see what's going on. Oh, my goodness. Lots to discuss. Always something happening. Elaine, you're just like us. Can't wear nothing around my neck. I can't. Never could. I was like, this is up too close for my neck. I'm happy to report, since I have started my Living a Little Better project, my 40 Days to 43 project on Saturday, I am down 8.5 pounds, which I'm pretty sure is just water weight and bloat. But I'm still going to take it as a win. Been keeping up with my stuff. My husband went with me to the gym today and taught me how to use the machines, so that's exciting. It's pretty exciting. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze. My bad. I'm so sorry, Morgan. I just saw that your dog Molly has passed away. I'm so sorry. That's just heart-wrenching. But take comfort in knowing that that dog knew nothing but love while you had it, and that you made their life better for it. So I always have to look at that. Angel was trying to cut the hoodies like I do. I just cut the neck in a V. Don't like shit around my neck. So my goal by the end of July is to drop down 15 pounds. So I'm already 8 pounds towards it, and I still have 22 days to go. So I'm working. I know it's water weight, but it does make me feel better to see the scale and be like, okay, we're doing all right. Doing all right. Thank you, Jessica. And I didn't realize how much 8 pounds was until I picked up an 8-pound bag of feed today. And let me just tell you something. Knowing that I was carrying this around my ass and now it's gone, that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight, and you don't realize it. It's hard on your knees, hard on your back, hard on your boobs, hard on your heart. So, I feel like Monica on Friends. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I look good. No, my heart's not in trouble anymore. Blah, blah, blah. So, I'm so sorry, Melanie. Oh, my goodness. Praying for Melanie, whose mother has passed away on Monday. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll be praying for you and holding you close and hoping that you have peace and comfort coming up in the coming days, because it's hard. It really is. But we're here for you on the porch. If you want somebody to sit with you, or you need a cheese ball, or if we need to bring a covered dish, just let one of us know. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. That's what we do. We sit with people. Start fasting and doing parasite cleanses. Becky, I'm not quite to that point just yet. I'm lucky to have an appetite at all right now. I'm drinking about 10 bottles of water a day and having about 100 grams of protein. I'll get to it. So I'm working on that. I'm so sorry, Melanie. That just broke my heart. We're holding you close in prayer in the coming weeks. Just goes to show you, friends, no matter what kind of day you're having, somebody's always having a worse one. So let's make sure to love each other and lift each other up, because you never know when somebody's having a rough day of it. I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh no, we got to do something. And then I got in my closet and I was like, oh no, we really got to do something. And then I saw a picture of my Aunt Myrtle and I was like, oh no, we got to do something. So I decided to get my act together. And for 40 straight days, I'm going to the gym every single day. I am drinking water every single day. And I'm making conscious decisions of improving my mental, my spiritual, my emotional, and my physical health. So that's what I'm doing. Bonnie's lost 114 pounds. Good job. I'm just down 8. We'll see where we are this time next week. Get excited. I'm joining my friend Leah Steele on 2 podcasts next week. If you haven't followed them already, the Culture Cast podcast and the Faith on the Fringe podcast, I will be a guest on both of those podcasts next week. So check out my girls in Bali and New Zealand. They're awesome. It's a supernatural discussion of the Bible. So I'm excited that there's other feral Christians in the world and that we're making the porch bigger. Melissa, things will get better, sweetheart. Just keep one foot in front of the other. I'm telling you, there's been times when I'm just like, this can't be all there is. But then I realize that I'm just being very impatient sometimes and that I can't see the bigger picture. So I just have to have faith. Sometimes faith is just getting up and getting through the day. So remember that. And I encourage you to come tomorrow evening to the Feral Christian Bible Study here on the porch at 7 p.m. We are getting into Ephesians, and we're getting into it pretty heavy. So have your Bible and have a notebook and something to drink, because we're going to be here for a little while. It's one of my longer Bible studies, but I have been working my butt off on it because I feel like Ephesians is a very important book to go through, especially for new Christians, because Paul tells us that we're Christians and how we should live as Christians. So it's pretty exciting. So if you're going to be here for it, I'm excited. If you're keeping up with my book club this week, I am 40 pages from finishing The Savannah Purchase by Jane Aiken Hodges. That was written in the 70s. It's pretty good. I got it at a yard sale the other day and I liked the cover, so I bought it and I read it. That's what I do. But that's what I know. If you haven't booked us for a private event or a house party and you're wanting to by the end of the summer, we have about 4 dates left before October, so let us know. Be glad to put you on the schedule if we can. Hello, Georgie. We're going to be on the Culture Cast podcast this week and the Faith on the Fringe podcast, which is run by a few friends of mine in Bali and New Zealand. So get on the Instagram and check them out. The Feral Christian will be live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and we're going through Ephesians. I don't claim to know all the answers at all. Not even a little bit. But if I can bring someone just a hair closer and make them read their Bible and check stuff out, then awesome. That's kind of where I'm at. See if there's anything else in my notes today. When I'm at the gym, I write down things that I want to talk to you about, and that way we get together of an evening, I'm like, what did I put down? In case you're keeping up with protein, by the way, farm fresh egg has anywhere from 6 to 7 grams of protein. So if you eat 3 eggs every morning, you have 21 grams of protein to start your day. Hello, Richard. I'm glad that you and your wife came across me too. Welcome to the porch. Kimberly's going to miss you tomorrow because she's going to be seeing Tracy Bird. Well, I hate that for you. Tell him I said hello. We love Tracy. I haven't got to play with him since we were down in Billy Bob's, I think, in Fort Worth in 2009? 2008? Well, good, Diana. If I can get you to crack the covers and see what God's saying to you, then my job is all the better. So I'm glad that you're there for it. I have been doing things from the porch because I can sit my stuff down and I have more room to work. You see behind me, I went to Sheetz and got a pack of cigarettes. And my husband took me to Blinko, and I got new stuff from Blinko. Do you know what Blinko is? Let's just look at it together. I know you probably haven't if you haven't been to Milton, West Virginia, but I have. And Blinko makes the CMAs every year. And my husband, to commemorate me getting better for my 43rd birthday. Bought me an early birthday present to keep me motivated on my diet. So, now we're going to look at it. Let's see. Blanco. So much newspaper. All right. My sun catchers. My new sun catchers to go on the porch. That's the Statue of Liberty. It's second edition Blanco 2026. So that's my Statue of Liberty. And then I got some marigolds to commemorate my garden. Isn't that beautiful? So, I have a collection. I have over here on my porch, I have 2 of them so far. Now I have 2 more to add. And then to add to my inside collection, is the classic water bottle that Blanco is known for. So, this is my present from my husband to put with my Blanco collection. In the old days, this is the only water bottle that would fit in the old ice boxes and keep your water chilled. So, Blanco's known for them. So, now I have a green one. So, thank you to my darling husband, Sean, for getting me some new Blanco today. And if you've never been to Blanco, I encourage you to go. It's in Milton, West Virginia. They have free tours, and you can go watch them make stuff. And then they have an awesome gift shop. So, I thought I was making the noise. Oh, listen. Listen to that acoustics. So, isn't that gorgeous? It's a water bottle. But I love it. It's got the Blanco mark on the bottom. 2026. My husband's been buying me Blanco for 3 years. That's kind of our thing. So, if you've never been, I encourage you to get down there and tell them that Sarah Beth sent you. It won't get you a discount or nothing, but they'll be like, oh, we know her. So I'm excited to put my new sun catchers up on the board. Look at that one, and that's so cute. I like that one. I like that one too, though. It's beautiful. So, anyway, Blanco. Go check it out. Next time you're on 64 and got nothing to do on a Saturday or whatever. They're open all the time. There you go. Blanco. Look them up. So they have all kinds. They have the water bottles. They're in all different colors. So I have a blue one, and I have a purple one, and I have an orange one, and that's what I had to. I believe in supporting local economy and showing you things that you can't find anywhere else. So, a little bit of West Virginia. I do like it, though. It's very pretty. I don't know why green was sticking out at me today. I was like, I'm going to do green. So, that's what I did. Oh, my goodness. I think we announced everything that we need to announce. I always feel like I keep a running list all day. As I see headlines, as I read the paper at the gym, as I watch Fox News and CNN and Reuters, and I'm like writing things down all day. And then I'm like, okay, now I have to compile it into one easy thing to read aloud to my friends. Because maybe I'm the only news that you hear all day because you get tired of it. I get tired of it. I'm like, anything new to report? Stamps are more expensive. But that's okay. Still send letters. It's important to people to get mail that is not a bill, I feel like. So, that's what I did today as I went to the gym. And my husband bought me some Blanco. And then I came home and took a nap. That's the only downside of being on this diet so far is I'm not eating a lot of sugar. And I'm not eating a lot of carbs. I'm not eating like any white flour sugar right now, and I didn't know that that's what was giving me all my energy. So I have to take naps. Hi! Did you just holler at me? Hello? Boo-boo. Mittens is back from his evening hunt. Hello, dear. Comes up on the porch. Meow. You know, Amy, I never thought about that, but I bet you're right. It's the L8 in me. I'm like, I need that green. Happy Meal. That's what we need to do. That's what I have in my P.O. box. Because every now and again, I'll get a fan letter that says, hey, I like watching you, and we're having a good day on the porch. And I'm like, that's what it's about. So, I like to know that maybe I'm doing something good for somebody else, maybe. Maybe this is something you look forward to. Maybe it helps to know that you're not all by yourself going crazy in the world around you, that there's a bunch of us on the porch feeling the same way. So, that's what I've got. Trish, I hear you on that. I'm the same way about L8, so 100%. And you're just like my sister-in-law. She is Dr. Pepper. That's her thing. Always has been. So. But this evening, I think what I'm going to do is kind of pick up the porch a little bit, put my new sun catchers up. And I think I still have some summer spaghetti in there. I'm going to go in there and have me a bowl of it before I go to bed and just get a little extra protein. Jason, they're beautiful. And they'll ship worldwide. So, your mother would love that. They have all kinds of stuff, not just bottles. Like they have bases and lamps and tchotchkes and sun catchers and keychains and night lights and glassware and pictures. And I mean, just go in there and check it out. Blenko. 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 That's a choo-choo train. So my goal tonight is to finish out this little book, and I've got about 3 more pages in the Bible before I reach my next goal. So I have to keep myself accountable. But tomorrow night we will have a big Bible study. This is my last weekend off the road. Starting next weekend, I'll be on the road full time from then until the end of October. So if you don't see us coming to your neck of the woods on the website, then reach out to us and be like, hey, we got a place that you can play on a Thursday or a Sunday or Tuesday, whatever. We'll come. Okay. You're coming to my show next Friday? Yes, ma'am, Donna. Let me tell you something. If you're coming Friday to the one in Hurricane, if you get here in town early enough, before like 5 o'clock, there is the Restore, the Habitat for Humanity Restore, just a hop, skip, and a jump from where I'm playing. They're in the Mid-Valley Shopping Center. There's also the Goodwill there at Tays Valley. Let's see, other good junk stores around the area. There's also the Pause for a Cause down by the railroad track on the main drag in Old Hurricane. They have like the cutest stuff. There's also is it the Vintage Rose that's on 34? So, yes, there are junk stores. And then there's also Milton when you're coming into town. There's 2 Goodwills on the way, one in Barbersville, one in Milton. And, yeah, there's plenty of antique malls, too. And if you come to the one on Saturday in Huntington, it's right in the middle of Central City, which is one of the best antique districts in West Virginia. So, all kinds of shopping. Thank you so much for saying that, Pamela. That is so sweet. Send Me's going to be out later this fall. I'm actually going to Florida to record it and do that one live. So, pretty excited. Richard, if we're not close enough, then get us a gig near you, and then we'll come to your neck of the woods. So, there's literally no place too far. We've been everywhere. I've been to Italy. I've been to Montana. I've been to Germany. I've been to Russia. I've been to Sweden, Finland, Norway, Estonia, Louisiana, Arizona, Las Vegas, Wyoming, wherever. So, just let us know. We'll pack the car and go. So, I'm tickled to get to spend this evening with you. If you're brand new to the porch, we appreciate you being here. If you're a repeat offender, welcome back. We're always glad to see you on the porch. Just remember, pick up after yourself and shut the gate, you know. Can't have a bunch of stray cats eating on the porch because that's how I run out of cat food every week. What's a good hotel in or near Campton? The Red River Inn is really good up there in are out the Mountain Parkway, and there's also a handful of places there at the Natural Bridge exit that are pretty good, including some little chalets. So, plenty of opportunities for places to stay. When am I coming to New Zealand? As soon as you book me, Georgia, let me know. We'll head that way. It's so hard to get a hold of me. Really, is it? Gloria, we'll be praying for your granddaughter. My cat has come back to the porch. He just wanders around this time of night looking for mice. But I'm really tickled that you're here, and I'm glad that you subscribe to the page and listen to the podcast and follow my music and come to the shows and buy the T-shirts and send me fun fan mail, because we can't do this without you. I mean, otherwise I'm just sitting on the porch bitching, and nobody wants that. That's just a lot for just Sean. So I'm glad that we're all on the porch together. And if you haven't reached out and visited with us, you know, our website is wide open. We also check that every single day. And so I enjoy all the emails that we get, and I'm trying to get back to them this week. I've got so many that I need to respond to. Gloria's granddaughter's name is Maddie. She's on our prayer list. Any chance of me coming to North Carolina? Yes, ma'am. Susan and I will be there on August the 22nd in Sapphire, North Carolina at the Fix. So those tickets are available on my website, singer-songwriter.com. So there you go. Where can you get the shirts? singer-songwriter.com. singer-songwriter.com. .com. So you can just find a little bit of Sarah Beth everywhere. But that's all I know from this side of the mountain today, friends. I'm sure I'll see you again tomorrow a couple times, because I have to go rip and run in town. And, you know, we always take visits together when I'm in the car. If y'all want to ride shotgun, then we'll go hit a good Goodwill tomorrow. So glad to have you, though. Very glad to see you, as always, friends. Remember to keep your Bibles open, your powder dry, and your head on a swivel, because people are acting crazy this day and age. Be nice to old people, animals, and children. Try to love your neighbor if you can't give it to God, because he loves you and I do too. And we'll both see you tomorrow night on the porch at 7 o'clock with Feral Christians. Make sure you set your alarms and your timers and your follows and whatever, that way you don't forget. So I'm glad that you were here. I love you, and I mean that. And I can't wait to see you again. And until that time, friends, remember, I'm Sarah Beth Terry, and you're not. Bye.